So this pickup's a disaster. Started this project about 2 years ago, and it has not run since. At least it's together, though. So back when I started this project, I thought it would be a great idea to make one truck out of two trucks. This engine came out of another truck. That was pretty much it. I just wanted the engine in this truck, and I was like, okay, cool, I have two trucks, and I want to make one truck, and I'll have plenty of truck left over. It should be good, right? Wrong. I gotta fix a lot on this truck, which means I have to go backwards a lot, which really sucks, because I'd like to be done with it. So you get to come along for the ride, for the stuff that I should have done, the stuff that I shouldn't have done, the stuff I gotta fix, which is a lot. Like a lot. It would be normal to swap a small block Chevy in here. But, much like my doctor and my mother says, I'm not. My doctor also says I shouldn't have two penises. Alright, so as you can see, the starter has pretty much no room. Just to kind of quantify this for you, I can't stick my finger in there, not even a little bit. So the engine's probably gonna, rock, and it's gonna hit. So that's one problem we're gonna have to address. This dipstick is also in a terrible spot. It doesn't work all that great. It's extremely stiff to put in and take out because the dipstick on the end is actually poking the oil pump as it goes by. So that's not sustainable. We need to fix that. Other than this area looking like a raccoon on crack started breakdancing in some rope, it's okay. So this area is pretty full. You can see, this brake line here is actually rubbing against the steering shaft. The steering shaft can do this, and this whole mess can move around. So that's got to get fixed because that makes the steering super duper floppy, and it's hitting this oil cooler line. This oil cooler line is not supported, so it's going to break off of the fitting down there. This oil cooler line up here is also almost touching the exhaust. Right at the tip of my finger, that's the exhaust, and it's almost touching that too. It is hitting the firewall currently right now, and this injector is a finger width away from hitting this. So I think when the motor vibrates, it's going to hit it. Just make out the little wicks right there. The oil filter's in an okay spot if you're a malnourished 12-year-old boy, but I am not, and I cannot fit in there. So I would like to relocate that. Everything in here is super duper tight. So we need to go through and adjust a lot of that. It's gonna make my life easier later, and it's gonna make this truck actually run and not be an unreliable pile of... So this exhaust is probably gonna be more than functional. However, this end looks like a crackhead with a car battery made it, and this end looks kind of professional and nice. Awful. Nice. Awful. Bad. Not good. Very terrible. Nice. This is where you can see, and it looks like dog shit. So these motor mounts, other than being weak, also look like I did it at 1 a.m. while intoxicated. Which is what happened. So the front of this engine also needs some work. This is too tall. I need to machine this nub down a bunch, because this nub is it's about to touch the radiator. And in fact, I'm worried that if the radiator moves at all, the engine moves at all, it's gonna rub and it's gonna cause a problem. A bunch of these pulleys here are double ribbed, which is not necessary because I don't have a fan anymore. So there's no reason for this one to be double ribbed, so that can get cut down and we can save some space there. And some of these brackets can be cleaned up, like this one. This one sucks. The exhaust underneath the engine is actually okay, other than it comes really close to this radiator line. I can't stick my hand in between there. I mean, obviously, that's disgusting. Anyway, we need to clean. Clean is good. So this is about as far as I can go before I need an engine hoist, because I can't lift that. But in the meantime, I can do some boring stuff, like pull lines off, pull the filter off, pull other lines off, pull the wiring. Wiring's good. Kind of need that off. I got to pull the power brake booster pump off. And then I can pull the steering box apart and get those lines identified so that way I can find a pressure relief valve, which I don't think is going to have standard lines on the inside of that. I think those are GM lines, which kind of sucks because they're like a flared O-ring Boss fitting. They suck. They don't exist in the industrial world. So that's going to be kind of a pain. I might have to cut and weld that. Like everything else, I'm going to have to cut and weld it. So once we get the hoist, we can pull the engine out. And then I can remedy the oil pan and the frame kissing. But as of right now, I'm going to pull lines. I need to pull the drive shaft out, and I need to pull the fuel tank out, and the batteries. You might have asked, where are the batteries at? They're not up front. Where are they? You just answered your own question. They're not up front. They're underneath the bed. I have to. Would you like to see them underneath the bed? I really can't show you. It's really dark and it's underneath the bed, and I can't get under there with the camera and show you. Like, I can't hardly fit because this truck's so low to the ground, and I still have to jack it up. So that's also gonna happen. But like, I can't fit under there and you at the same time. So like, would you like to see me like grunt and shove batteries out of the? This pickup is equipped with a, kind of a neat feature. You can see in the background here, this tires, it can spin free. You'll notice that this U-joint here is spinning while the tire spins. But the drive shaft is not. So this is actually set up so when you pull a lever in the cab, you can actually disconnect the drive shaft from the U-joint here. So this can spin just like it would normally, and then this, when you pull the lever, this guy ka-chunks over, and now it's free spinning again. That's so that way when you flat toe this thing and the tires are spinning, it's not spinning the drive shaft and the transmission, and therefore only putting wear on your axle. So, like I said, due to my previous bad decisions, these were underneath the bed because they won't fit up front. And then I've got some super duper thick welding cable. I think this is actually the thinner stuff. I think there's thicker stuff underneath the bed that goes from the back to the front. So that way it's got some juice. These ones are the crossover ones, so then that way I can put these two in parallel. The tank is out because the pump in here is like a sugared up toddler and won't calm down. So I need to that's what the regulator in the front's for, is to regulate that down, right? You got to choke it out. Not a toddler. Don't choke toddlers. That's bad. But you can choke pumps. That's fine. So basically I'm going to, put it through the regulator and then return line back. But I need the return line to be larger because it was never intended to only output like 7 PSI. And then the high pressure fuel pump also has its own return line. So I need more return line. So I got to put a bigger return line in here. Hopefully I can find some line and we'll bend that up, put it in here. No big deal. And then I can keep the pump in here because it's a stock pump and I can still find it. There's still more that's got to come off. Like I've made a lot of mistakes here. Like this is just to get down to the basic ones. That's enough for today. I'm done. And a side note, this microphone is off my desk. Like this is a gaming microphone. This is not meant for this. I've been terrified of breaking it the whole time. I've ordered some lavalier mics. So they go to your shirt or whatever. So that way I don't have to destroy this one. So hopefully the audio will suck less. Hopefully I can figure out how to sync the audio between this and the phone. Fun fact, you can plug this into your phone, but I can't do that because I have to charge my phone because my phone will die in like 20 minutes recording video for some reason. So I can't plug this in and the charger, so I have my laptop out here. I'm recording this to my laptop. So I now have to sync this video to that, or this audio to that, and hope it works. It might not. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully this isn't ass. I don't know. Whatever.